AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
they're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No.
are.
The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
she's
AOC
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that.
Is this. When I first became a public defender, I had no criminal defense experience. And I walked in and I told my boss, Charlie, I said, listen, you should hire me. He said, why? I said, because I'm black. Charlie looked at me like I was crazy.
This person, Crockett, is part of the new trend where informality is okay, where formality used to reign. Okay, fine, that's been going.
Podcaster talks or some shit. Fuck it, man. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, man, dude, this shit is whack and fuck it. You slap me, I'm fucking over it. I mean,
Debate over Democratic priorities is sparked by Bill Maher. In a recent interview, Maher didn't mince words when he criticized Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett for behaving more like a TikTok influencer than a serious lawmaker. He claimed that the Democratic Party is elevating the wrong voices and that it's beginning to demonstrate that Maher thinks the problem isn't policy but priorities rather than actual solutions. He claims that some Democrats are chasing headlines at social media clubs, citing Crockett and AOC as instances of politicians more focused on garnering attention and taking action. The mayor claims that this trend towards gaudy soundbites rather than substantive content is weakening the party's message and alienating regular voters. Democrats should reconsider who they highlight and whether those voices are advancing or undermining their cause.
Trans people filming us in the bathroom. How many of these trannies are taking selfies? These men are taking selfies in women's spaces in the bathroom. It's gross. It's disgusting. So if we're going to talk about civil rights, let's talk about the rights of women in this country and how you are stripping them away every single day. And you're doing it in your legislation, you're doing it in your messaging, you're doing it on X. You're making women feel unsafe in this country. And you're making the opportunity for women and girls to be raped, to be sexually abused in this country, even greater than they've ever been. So don't come over here with your attitude and talk to me about rights when you're trying to take my rights as a woman, a rape survivor, away. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
The woman didn't raise her voice or cause a scene. Instead, she spoke to Representative Jasmine Crockett in a calm and direct manner. Her tone was firm but respectful, and her message was clear enough. Let's focus on what really matters. However, when Crockett responded, the typical pattern took over. Rather than addressing the real issues, she shifted the topic, raised the tension, and avoided the point. This is a familiar tactic, and people are beginning to notice it.
We got there because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I'm 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
ever
I
will.
am reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I am
Order.
not a child.
I am
not a
reclaiming
child.
my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay,
in order.
order.
Point of order.
Order. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member? I mean, she said she wants to take it outside with.
hey, I have the
Crockett.
First Amendment right too.
And
young
so
man. I have the
I'd like
First
those
Amendment
words
right.
to be
I'm not
taken
gonna be a
down.
child.
I
I'm
am
not gonna
moving
be
to have
called a
those
child
words
by
taken
any
down.
of you.
I believe it's against the rules. to
Going
incite
outside doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You have a
member of
conversation that isn't.
The committee will
interrupting this
suspend.
committee.
The member will state the words he wishes taken down.
If Democrats continue in this direction, they run the risk of seriously harming not only their reputation, but also the party's future. Being is leadership its performance. The tone may seem like someone attempting to assume control, but it seems disjointed and uncomfortably awkward to watch. People were interested in hearing Don Lemon's perspective when he joined the discussion, but after Bill Maher interrupted with some harsh realities, everything changed. Lemon didn't simply lose the debate, he was completely overwhelmed by the mayor's incisive and straightforward remarks, which made it obvious to many onlookers where the line was between showy rhetoric and substance.
AOC. People love Jasmine Crockett. People love Eric Swalwell and the like. And I think that the Democratic Party should put the people out there who the people want. They should put the politicians out there who the people want, who they're asking for, who are meeting the moment with the same energy that
They're not asking for AOC.
Yes, they are.
The people you party with
No.
are.
The people I party with don't like AOC.
Oh, please.
No, they don't at all.
Well, most people don't.
But
She's
AOC
very far left.
Let me tell you why I'm saying that. Because because people will vote for AOC and Donald Trump on the same ticket. Because they're authentic. No, because they're authentic.
I don't think that Don.
I think you're wrong about that.
What people like about people like Trump and
That's
Fetterman
phony.
is because it's irrelevant to her life.
But you don't know her life.
I know that being a gorgeous woman who I wouldn't even know was Hispanic in a city has 1 million Hispanics and it does not treat them badly.
But that doesn't mean she doesn't struggle. That doesn't mean that she was set down.
It implies it.
But that doesn't mean that she was set down in a Hispanic ghetto in the Bronx and had to deal with that growing up, and that she's come from a working class family.
It implies that it implies that in some way she's behind the 8 ball because of that, and it's just not true. And so
I don't know if she's behind the 8 ball, but I don't think she's as privileged as many people who are in Congress right now.
She's not privileged or not. She was a bartender.
Yeah.
So I was a delivery boy.
But I'm saying sometimes, Bill, you don't agree with Donald Trump's policies.
No.
But that's what the people want.
Some of them.
Whether you like her or not, I don't like what she did with Amazon in New York. But I think AOC she's a Democratic icon.
Well, she's the wrong. If you think that's the direction the country, the Democratic.
I'm not saying the policies that she espouses that's the direction, but I'm saying that you have to give the people who are out front speaking for the party, not the people who are.
If you think
she's evolving,
yeah, she's evolving,
and
as we all are,
and she is moving into
right.
She understands the game a little bit more, and if you notice, she is sort of becoming a sort of normal kind of Democrat in many ways.
Yes.
I think she's She's a very smart tactic. She's very smart.
Let's get behind that.
It's difficult to dismiss what has become clear at this point. It's evident how far the Democratic Party has strayed from its basic principles that Lemon, one of CNN's most outspoken voices, consistently ignores uncomfortable facts to applaud politicians who prioritize appearance above actual leadership. What's even more shocking is that even those close to Jasmine Crockett privately acknowledge that they have grave worries, but nobody wants to voice them because of pressure from fear and a growing sense that things aren't going as planned. It's safer to keep quiet than to upset everyone.
We have right now is that if we continue down this road, then we will not have a rule of law, because we have people that are currently serving and they're saying things like, ignore the judge's order. What it means to have law and order in this country is that you follow the order and you go through the appeals process, even if you dislike what the judge did. Thank you. And
I'm going to note that when Miss Ocasio-Cortez, or AOC as we know her, filed articles of impeachment on Justice Thomas and Alito, Ms. Crockett was one of the co-sponsors, along with Mr. Cohen, both members of this committee. It does seem interesting that when the shoe is on the other foot, everyone is self-righteous.
Wow.
And I think this is a good example. For the last 3 hours, I have had to listen to one side talking about impeachment as though it was the nature of this hearing.
People have been exhausted for years, and to be honest, who can blame them? The moment that followed Bill Nier's remarks on Jasmine Crockett really hit home, because the left has kept making the same promises, but the outcomes have simply not materialized. Instead, there has been more confusion, more disagreement, and little actual progress. Another guest interrupted and immediately and unvarnishedly questioned Don Lennon's perspective. His remarks were honest, straightforward, no political jargon or spin, and they cut through the clutter. At that precise time, they were exactly what needed to be spoken, leaving no space for justifications.
Is part of the new trend where informality is okay, where formality used to reign. Okay, fine. That's been going on since the 60s. So her routine is that she wants to bring a little bit of what I might quaintly call the ghetto catfight into these spaces. I get it, bring a blaxploitation movie or something into Congress. Great, work it. But you do not make fun of the fact that somebody lives their life in a wheelchair. That doesn't work. If she thinks that being black and fabulous gives her a pass on that, then she's got a really unfortunate sense of what black is.
Well, what do you think, Ricky?
The main objective of all of this is to win over younger voters, but here's the problem. The reason why Gen Z isn't showing up as the party had hoped is straightforward. The individuals promoting this message are utterly disconnected from reality. Sure, they are loud and frequently appear in headlines and on social media, but they lack the one thing that appeals to every generation: common sense. Without that, the message simply does